Welcome to the shop. Steve here. Well, if you've been following along, well, a long time ago when I had time, this is part of Project 56 Merc. And it's the hood. Fortunate enough, it's in pretty good shape. So all I'm going to do is clean it up and basically clear coat it to leave all that good patina that took forever to happen. So first thing we're going to do, nature's kind of taken over and we've got all the lichens on there, so we'll clean all that up and I'll sand her down with some 400 grit and get it ready for a clear coat. So basically just have to remove the emblems here and get to work on cleaning. Now there's a couple, minor little dents here and there. I'm going to leave that. That's just kind of part of the history of the truck. And then if I do fix that, it's almost more noticeable, the repair, than if you were just to leave a little bit of a dent. Now, the fenders, they were really rough shape, so I had no choice, but I've got to fix them up. But the hood, as much as I can, I'm going to leave original. So let's get started. Take off these emblems. I'm just using a thin bar and we're just gonna caress it off. Not gonna put too much pressure on it. Mercury is something that you just can't buy anything for anymore because Mercury is Canadian and they just don't make parts for them. Which makes them way more rare. That's why we're doing this one. My brother's really into Mercury stuff. They're in okay shape. Perfect for the time. It's now time to clean this thing up. Now I'm going to use just an old scuff cloth and my favorite degreaser and get this stuff off. Now that's about the only way I figured out how to get this stuff off without working it really hard. And I don't want to scrape it, of course, because then it wrecks the paint. So we just got to take our time. And it comes off. And because we're using a scuff cloth, it's actually scuffed in the paint here, getting it kind of ready for clear coat as well. She's really on there. She kind of stains the paint a little bit, but when I hit it with sandpaper, that usually comes out. So I'm gonna keep on cleaning. I'll turn the radio on when I turn you off. It's gonna take me a while, as you can see. Alright, I got most of it off. The staining, of course, will come off when I hit it with some 400 grit. It's amazing how this stuff can just stain. So now that we've got her all cleaned up, I've kind of noticed a couple of little dents, but I'm going to try and just tap them out with a rubber hammer and see if I can get them out without doing any damage. Alright, move on. The ugly part's done. Alright, had to upgrade a bit to a couple of ball peen hammers here. Now, this is some pretty thick metal here, and when you hit it with the rubber hammer, nothing really happens. So you just feel where your high spot is. I got a little piece of tape on here. I just put my ball peen here, and I just give it a tap. That way you don't get any doingers on the other side. And if you do, you can leave this on, put a dolly in there and just lightly tap it, and it'll go away. Takes quite a bit to get these out. It's coming though. Just wanted to show you this. There's a 13 here, and if you're watching my video on the cab when I was working on it, you'll notice that there's a 13 on the firewall as well. It just corresponds, so obviously somebody with a crayon went around, give her a 13, and that hood goes on that truck. So, interesting. Now I'm just sanding this down with some 400 grit, and just because we're going to clear it, that's all. I'm not worried about getting rid of any of the chips. I want all those chips to be left in there. And the 400 grit works pretty good. It gets rid of my staining that I get from those all the lichens that I cleaned off of there. And then I'll just kind of rub over it with a scuff cloth, make sure that it's I've done a thorough job so everything sticks. So that's basically what I have to do here in the next few hours, just finish sanding down this hood. The dents I found out, they're okay. They're not perfect. I don't know how you would get it perfect, but there's probably the odd guru out there that can do it, but for what I'm looking for, I'm happy. Alright, I'll continue on, and then we get on the next stage of prepping. Hit her with a little wax and grease remover. Got it all cleaned up with some wax and grease, and you can see the rock pits. And we're not trying to fill any of that stuff. That's all good patina. I like it. All right, we've got it blowing off. Wax and grease remover has done its job. Now it's just a matter of tacking her down, throwing down some clear. Alright, we got the hood on, and it looks pretty good. Now I just can't wait to get everything else done. It's coming. Thanks for watching. We got fuel coming up. Slowly coming together here. Got the fuel tank in. Steering column. Looks like we got dash in. We're just working on starting. Oh, I better turn the key off here. Slowly coming together.